John Cranley will continue serving as the City of Cincinnati's mayor for the next 4 years.
Yvette Simpson conceded within the past 20 minutes. You can see the results coming in real time at the bottom of your screen.
We also have an entire website dedicated to our election coverage at wcpo.com/vote. Let's take a look at the results for mayor tonight and where the numbers stand right now. As you can see, with 54% of the vote, with 100% of the precincts reporting, John Cranley the winner tonight. And we brought you live coverage of Cranley's victory speech on Facebook, and Ashley Zilka is waiting to hear from Yvette Simpson. We'll have Yvette live just in a moment.
Yeah, in fact, she will be joining her live exclusively. Our live team coverage, though, does start with Tom McKee, who is at the victorious Cranley camp. Tom?
11 points over John Cranley, and that was a wake-up call for him. He became the underdog, but he turned that into an advantage. Now, the mayor arrived here at his victory party around 9:15, giving thumbs up with his wife and son, all smiles at what he and his team had done. He praised Simpson for the hard-fought campaign and had nothing but kind words for the Cincinnati council member.
We want to congratulate again Councilmember Simpson on her victory in the primary and on her public service.
Yes.
And for a spirited campaign, and we wish her nothing but the best.
And you can hear behind me 4 more years, other chants from John Cranley's very, very happy supporters right now. Coming up, jobs and public safety, ending poverty, just 3 of the priorities that are going to take place over the next 4 years. Now, of course, Yvette Simpson conceded a short time ago. Our colleague Ashley Zilka is with her. Ashley, what's the mood at that camp?
Well, Tom, there's still a lot of people here at Queen City Radio, and I'm actually here with Yvette Simpson herself. How are you doing right now?
I'm doing great. You know, again, we feel like we ran a wonderful race. It was positive. It gave people hope. It inspired people. It gave voice to people who don't normally participate in this process. We knew that we were going to leave it out on the field and it was going to turn out how it was going to turn out. You know, we could have run this race dirty. We could have gone negative. And I'm proud that we didn't do that, even though it didn't turn out the way we expected it. So, you know, what I'm going to figure out is what's next for me, because I'm not going away. We still have a lot of work to do here in Cincinnati. And I told John when we talked on the phone today, he's got a responsibility to the people who need him most. And I'm going to hold him to that.
What is the one thing you really want to concentrate on next, whether it's neighborhoods or what's that one thing?
You know, we had a dual purpose of making sure we improve neighborhoods and we take care of people, and also making sure we become the #1 urban city in the country. You know, I can go anywhere. People like me who have dual degrees, we can move to Houston, we can move to Charlotte, we can move to Nashville. I don't want people to make that choice. So I'm going to continue to work to make Cincinnati a place that I would want to stay and that anyone would want to stay, and also to make sure it's a place where no matter who our kids are, who they're born to, that they can be successful. That was the whole purpose of this run, and I'm not going to give up on that.
How has this experience been?
It's been amazing. I mean, people say, you know, the negativity, does it get you down? It does. But most of what I saw was light and smiles and hugs from people. People were inspired. People took a chance on me. I'm really, really encouraged by that, and I know that my work in public service isn't done.
When you looked at the numbers right now, is there anything that surprised you where you thought, hey, I should have won there and I didn't?
Yeah, I mean, we did expect Kennedy Heights to come through, Clifton to come through. We thought we'd win College Hill, you know, but there were a lot of negative messages that were put out there that we just couldn't get to and counter because we didn't have the resources. And, you know, when you decide you're going to play by the rules, when you decide that you're going to be positive and not go negative, it's the risk you take, but I would do it the same way over again. I really would.
What would you like to say to your volunteers?
You know, you heard the applause here. They know we're not done. Continue to be encouraged. Continue to keep our administration accountable. Continue to engage. And we'll see what I'm going to do next, but I want them to find their own place. What contribution are you going to make? The power of we is still as real as it was when we started. And the power of we says it doesn't matter who's in the mayor's race. It was never about me. It was about every single Cincinnatian doing their part to make our city greater. And I want all of my volunteers, anyone who voted for me, anyone who gave a dime to me, to continue to push to make the power of we real here in Cincinnati.
Vacation next, I hope, a little break?
I'm going to take a little break. I had always planned to take a break either way. I'm going to take a break and I'm going to use it to figure out what's next for me here in Cincinnati.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right, back to you guys.
All right, Ashley Zilka with Yvette Simpson. Thanks so much. And we are, by the way, getting instant analysis and reaction to tonight's results and the future makeup of Cincinnati city leaders. Our anchor, Evan Millward, is here with us tonight. Evan.
Yeah, and that council race is going to be interesting because we're still watching the last seat of that. Maybe too close to call tonight even, and may come down to provisionals. But when you look at this election, you now have a mayor who's been reelected, a council that has every eligible incumbent back on board. The top 5 vote getters are incumbents, and then 3 of the other 4 are Democrats. UC Professor David Niven and I were just talking about this. Niven called it a big night for Democrats in this city because they got all their folks reelected and they held on to those 3 other seats. But also for Democrats elsewhere. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Look at the results of the council in this election. You've got to wonder, is anything even going to change with how council operates with the same mayor? Greg Landsman, on now, tried to run. He lost in 2013, but he has some experience. He's the architect behind, widely considered the architect behind Preschool Promise. Tamaya Denard is P.G. Sittenfeld's former top aide. She has experience in City Hall dealing with Mayor John Cranley. David Niven says he thinks Cranley has learned something through this campaign about working with this council here.
So the council might be a little bit more cohesive in this next session than it has been in the past. And, you know, of course, Cranley has to have learned a lesson, if nothing else. His relationship with the council got him an opponent in this mayor's race. And you know, this opportunity, his second term, his final term with term limits, you know, really is going to depend on that relationship with the council.
So let's talk about what comes next, right? You look at the top vote getter for council, P.G. Sittenfeld, name recognition coming from a failed Senate run, probably working out for him to his advantage. I mean, even if you run against Ted Strickland and Rob Portman, you know, you're a guy on Cincinnati City Council, but this was a long-term plan for him, and I think we saw it pay off for him tonight.
What does the professor say about Cranley winning this when it comes to name recognition?
Oh, he had to. He had to, because I think it's no secret John Cranley has higher aspirations, whether that be at the state level or in Washington. If he didn't win this, it was going to be hard to come back from that. He won it, and I think if you look 4 years from now at the situation for the Democrats in the state of Ohio, John Cranley, if he has even a moderately successful second term in Cincinnati, positions himself as maybe the top Democrat in the state of Ohio in 4 years.
All right, Evan Millward, thanks so much for that. And let's take a deeper dive on those results for City Council. As he mentioned, P.G. Sittenfeld is the top vote getter with more than 36,000 votes right now. David Mann, the veteran, with what many thought was a pretty clever ad campaign, comes in second. Creel Seelbach got more than 28,000 votes. Wendell Young, who had open heart surgery quite recently, is coming back to council. So is Chris Smitherin, who happens to be a Charterite. He got about 26,500 votes there. New to council will be Tamaya Denard, as we just mentioned. She was P.G. Sittenfeld's top aide and will have experience going into that job. Greg Landsman, with his second bid, makes it onto council. Amy Murray, a Republican incumbent, is coming back, and it seems that so will Jeff Pastor, who is a Republican, though it is quite possible. You see how close that is with Michelle Dillingham, 21,339 to 21,022. It is possible that you might see that flip-flop depending